guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account doing something kind of new. So a lot of players have been asking a lot of different questions about different factions, just kind of the knowledge, the gameplay, the wish list, the builds, things of that nature. So today I actually wanted to go through our Lightbearer faction. We have a ton of heroes in here. You can see, guys, we have all of the Lightbearer heroes as of right now. But in totality, there are 20 Lightbearer heroes that you can get ascended as of right now. I actually do have my last copy right there for Walker, which will take him to 5 stars. We need Rigby, we need Sonia. So again, I'm just going to give you a kind of a quick rundown synopsis. Now, this isn't set in stone, anything of that nature. Just kind of going through the heroes that we see within here. Now, first of all, we're going to look at Awaken Thane. He seems to be kind of the second or third place when it comes to Awaken heroes. Primarily out of the 4 that we currently have, I would build out, very first would be Brutus, and then I would probably follow with either Taline or Thane. They're very tough because in their respective towers, they do incredibly well. Cursed Realm, we do see a little bit of usage, maybe a little bit in that aspect out of Awaken Taline, but we also do see Thane and Awaken Taline within the PvP aspect. Now, the priority when it comes to building out the Lightbearers, guys, is 1, Scarlett. Scarlett will carry early game. Scarlett is used in guild bosses, used in the Twisted Realm, used in the Cursed Realm. There is a super heavy utilization to this hero, guys. That is in a ton of formations. Even if you don't have the best in slot, the BIS formations, a lot of times she can fill in with a couple other heroes, including Grez, to really maximize the damage that we see within boss fights. So Scarlett, guys, a really big priority, followed by Rowan. Rowan is another hero that does incredibly well, guys. Plus 30 signature item. You don't really need the furniture on him or the engraving. It does help out slightly, but again, not a very big priority for building them out overall. When it comes to Gwen, short of the Lightbearer Tower, you're not going to see her used anywhere. Even earlier game, she's not super effective till you have her built. Even with having her built right now, not really effective very much at all. Now, Estrella, now she has found a lot of utility with the buffs that she provides. So you can see here, guys, she has a pretty good damage mitigation, which again keeps your team alive. She also has a very strong attack boost, which is the reason why a lot of players are using her. Even at the plus 30 engraving, guys, you get a 40% attack boost, which is incredible with this Inspire ability. Again, I've seen her kind of showing up in a bunch of different formations that she's wasn't really prevalent in before, but now we've seen her in some Twisted Realm formations, some Cursed Realm formations, depending on the heroes you're running. We've also seen her in a couple boss fights, again, for that attack boost that she provides in there. Rosaline and Scarlett do go kind of hand in hand. So when you're building out Scarlett, Rosaline is going to be the one to follow. Rosaline also does make a presence within the Charmazard following Mihira. She, again, has found definitely a niche way into a couple different formations. Even if you run her in the tower, you can have her follow the Awakened version of Thane or follow Scarlett, guys. Does incredibly well. You will want to build Rosaline up. Belinda, she's a hero, unfortunately, short of the tower, doesn't really have much use. The only thing that she uses is this little blessing that has been replaced essentially by other heroes. Even here, attack rating by 20. When you have a hero like Estrella doing 30, 35, or 40. Crit rating a little bit higher, but overall, guys, players just pass on Belinda. Folks, short of the crowd control, he's a decent hero. I would say he's pretty far down the priority list. Only place you're going to see him utilized at all is within the Lightbearer Tower. Cecilia, now she's a little more unique. If you don't have Athalia, she can kind of fill that slot. We see her a lot of play within the Abyssal Expedition. We also see her, of course, in the Lightbearer Tower. But the Abyssal Expedition in the hunting fields, she does incredibly well. When you start stacking, relics behind her, when you start stacking things of that nature, she does a significant amount of damage. So again, kind of I would say like a B tier hero to build out within the Lightbearers. Morrow has a little bit of crowd control, a little bit of damage. Again, most players don't utilize him outside of the Lightbearer Tower. Lucius, unfortunately, he is really back road for pretty much any other tank, including Hendrik. And now having Sonia, Lucius kind of doesn't have a place anymore. When it comes to Thane, the original version, the only time he works well is if you have him maxed out, guys, which means plus 30 signature item, 9 of 9 furniture, and of course, guys, this right here, the plus 60 engraving. So if you're not willing to overinvest into Thane, we still do see him again in a couple formations, but if you don't have him built, there is zero utility outside of having him completely maxed out. Now, when it comes to Hendrik has found a little bit of a place in a couple different formations. Big thing with Hendrik, guys, is having this 3 of 9 furniture. This is very strong for the defensive bonuses that you're getting in there. 2 of his abilities he can only use once, but the big one, of course, is the immunity, guys. This is it. Tanks don't survive in AFK Arena unless they do possess an immunity, which he does, but it does require a plus 60 engraving, which means you're going to be building him up probably much farther than I ever would. Just for the fact, maybe if you're a whale, definitely you want to build him out because he does have a little bit of utility. For a majority of players, you're not really going to build out Hendrik. Might see a little bit of play again within that Lightbearer tower, but everywhere else, I don't see his utility in there. Rain, 3 of 9 furniture as a buffer, plus 20 signature item. That's really all you need. Once you get her ascended to the plus 3 for the furniture, there's no reason to build her any higher. Not used in a lot of fights, but still does show up every now and then, again, because of the damage boosts that she provides. Peggy, really just kind of another B tier hero in there. Sonia, now Sonia has found a couple places within several formations. On PvP, she seems to do well even after the buff. We also see her in a couple of the Cursed Realm comps, but outside of there, guys, for the tanking aspect of her, she does decent. Now, looking at Hendrik, looking at, you know, the heroes that we have within the Lightbearer faction, when you start getting into one team, okay, you can do it well. When you start getting into 2 teams within the towers, which I'll show you guys in just a little bit, gets a little bit more difficult. When you get into 3 teams, now you're looking at dodge tanks, things of that nature, and having to have a majority of these heroes built. Ullard, short of PvP, I've used him every now and then, even on my max Lightbearer account. He seems to die really quick. When I fight him, he's super difficult to deal with. When I see him here, I don't really build him or utilize him on here. Oscar has 0 place. Rigby doesn't really have much of a place, dies pretty quick, just like Oscar. And the same with Walker, guys. All 3 of them do die incredibly fast within formations. I would say out of the viability, really, Ullard is the one to build. Now, looking at the Lightbearer tower, like I was saying, is when you get to a certain floor, guys, when you start getting into 3 teams, this is where it gets kind of dicey with the formations that you're putting in here. One team, again, it's kind of easy when you're getting into heroes, but looking at multiple teams, and it's funny because some of these, even utilizing like the Awakened version of Thane, most of them are either just placing fodder in here that's just going to die. But you can see, guys, that a majority of these heroes, even right here, is you have Rosaline that is running with Scarlett. Pseudo tanks here, so you do have Peggy in here kind of as a guard tank. And then in here you do have Thane, the original Thane, which again, having him built out a little bit more would be super effective. This team is probably not going to win any of these stages because when you start getting into higher level deficiencies, it's incredibly hard to get through here. So looking again in the faction in its entirety, guys, even looking at the wish list with the Lightbearers, Scarlett would be my first priority. I'm just going to clear these out here. Scarlett, absolutely, I know it's going to tell me that I've ascended 5 stars. Rosaline would be another priority. Out of here, I'd probably build Estrella again for that buffing aspect that I like in here. Rowan, absolutely, I would build out of here. And then looking between Hendrik and Sonia, honestly, probably earlier game. I know Lucius does decent. I would probably give him the decent, but I would probably go with Hendrik as my tank. So this would be the optimal set. Again, you have Scarlett and you have Rosaline really go together. You have Estrella in here for the defensive buffs. Also a bit of tanking in there. You have Hendrik, so you have your Estrella and your Hendrik front line. You do have Rowan in the middle, which is support for pretty much whoever you're running. Once I got pretty much these heroes up to ascended, So once I got Estrella to Ascended, I would drop her out. Hendrik to Ascended, I would drop out. Rowan to Ascended, I would drop out. These are two heroes that I would probably keep in here. So who would I replace for the heroes I dropped out? I would probably go with Cecilia in here again, just because of the utility. Rain, when you get to the point of needing that buff. And then I would probably go with Falks in here just for the crowd control aspect. You could go Morrow, you could go Falks. Both of those, again, for that crowd control aspect. Sonia could be a viability in here, again, to kind of add another tank within there. But again, Scarlett is a hero, guys, that I would take completely to 5 stars. Same with Rosaline, I would take her to 5 stars just because of the utility. So the stronger that you make Rosaline, the stronger that she in turn is going to make Scarlett within these formations, guys, to really, really build them out. And again, the way that I set up my furniture, so in here, guys, when you're starting out earlier game, I put 2 Lightbearers, I put 2 Maulers, I put 2 Graveborn, I put 2 of my Wilders in there. So honestly, 2 of each faction. And then these last slots that I had in the very back, I put either Celestials that I know I'm going to build, Hypogens I know I'm going to build, and then also looking at the dimensional heroes that I know I'm going to build. And these guys, once they hit 9 of 9 furniture for a majority of players, you will drop them out. I'm primarily keeping Scarlett in here because I know that I want to build her out past that 9 of 9 furniture to continue maximizing my damage within the Cursed Realm and the Twisted Realm with her. And again, guys, Rosaline, the higher you build her out, because of her right here, the attack and defense rating are increased by 30% of Rosaline's own attack rating. So the stronger that you do make Rosaline, the more she is going to transfer over, which is the reason why we do build her out significantly, guys. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, guys. I wanted to kind of showcase the different heroes. We do a lot of wish lists, we do a lot of tier lists, we do a lot of, you know, who you should build. I hope it provided a little bit of guidance within the Lightbearer faction. Let me know what changes I can make when it comes to the video, guys, because I want to do one for each faction and kind of break down who I would prioritize building, because it has changed over the last couple months. I would say as we continue to get a ton of new heroes, there's a lot that need to be built. There's a lot that we'll go ahead and pass on depending on the build. So, all right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.